Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Channel. I'm here with ESSEC Business School and we're going to be talking about the Executive Master in Digital Transformation, the EMDT Online, because we're also going to be talking about ESSEC Online. All right, but to talk about it, I have the pleasure to welcome the Executive Vice President of ESSEC Business School, Julien Malorand, Emez Bonnet-Bolizar, the Online Program Manager, and an alumni student, She's called Vandana Anurag, Alumna EMDT 2023. She's also the director of her own brand. We'll have time to talk about all of that, but first let's go to the corporate speech. So the corporate speech is basically to introduce us to, it could be ESSEC Online or the Executive Master in Digital Transformation. I'm listening to you.
So basically, about ESSEC Online, so we started in 2019, so before the COVID pandemic, and we had the intention to create something that would be as experiential as what you would get in our physical campuses. So basically, we started by designing a whole curriculum of courses, but much more than courses, what you would experience where you would be in class, like interacting with your classmates, engaging into discussion that would be outside of the traditional courses. So we decided for that to create a whole, I would say, environment where participants could enroll in some courses, but also engage into informal discussions. And so for that, we used, of course, technology, and we have been using different types of technologies for engaging into the courses as well as the informal part. And this is how we have been designing step by step a curriculum that is now complete and that can welcome any kind of students here.
Emez, the EMDT is the first online program.
Correct.
Why have you decided to choose this one and make it 100% online?
Well, the reason why it was decided to be 100% online is to make sure that participants who have no opportunity to come on campus could also have access to education. So that was the reason. And the way how it was designed also facilitates online learning in a way that is quite unique. There are some self-paced learning components as well as live sessions. So it's quite a unique combination, and this is what was a pioneering idea when creating this program.
Yeah, pioneer for the world was one of your motto, I guess. Vandana, is the platform user-friendly?
It's very user-friendly, and it's also very easy to interact and understand. And especially the weekly online classes and exchange with the professors and other students was very, very interesting, actually. It helped in faster learning and picking up the subjects. Because mostly the people who came, they already came with some work background. And they have not been exactly in digital world or known in detail about how the whole digital transformation works. So it was very, at least for me, and I know some of my colleagues from the class, it was very, very interesting and very exciting to go through the classes.
In the admission process, it says notion of digital technology. How much did you have of those? What did you do before?
Well, we learned coding. So I can tell you that when you are 40 plus and you are learning coding, so we learned Python, we learned RStudio, and we had exercises based on that, like project work based on that. So yeah, it actually made us quite like hands-on in terms of all the new digital development which is happening and how actually you can incorporate in your management style or in your committed executive or whichever, like wherever you are working. So it won't sound alien when your digital director is actually explaining something and that you are missing out on the strategy exactly how it should be. So yeah, I felt that it was very user-friendly and very easy to adapt.
like you said, Emez, it's allowing people to be able to go to ESSEC even if they're not living in France, for example, and no visa is required since it's an online master.
Correct.
Does it mean that you have a lot of international students applying?
We do have lots of international students applying. We also have local students who are at the moment living abroad. So we have quite a nice mixed population. And we also have people who just have international professional experience while still staying in France. But the beauty of this program is they don't need a student visa. They can always connect online and they can learn with us wherever they are.
In the admission process, do you have to go through an interview?
Yes.
What was asked of you?
There was a written exam first.
There was an exam
There was
first.
a written exam, yes.
After
And
all those years of working, you still have an exam.
Exactly,
all right?
yeah. But I think it's good because, I mean, first the written exam, then there was an interview, and then the decision was taken basically whether you get into the course or not. And I feel that that basic thing was required because it gives you more or less a similar level of intellect to interact with. Because, I mean, at least in our batch, we were 18 of us, and everyone who came from different background have a certain level of management skills. So it's interesting to work with all age group, you know. But I don't think anyone who's coming with 10 years or 15 years of work experience already working in the management would like to work with a 22-year-old or a 23-year-old because we are not talking on the same level, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that the first selection, what happened at least in my batch, we were very happy to work with all kinds of ages. Like everyone was around like over 28 or something in our batch.
How old was the youngest? How old was the oldest?
Like the oldest would be me, and the youngest was, I think, 28 or something.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was very interesting because it also, from your management perspective, it allows you to work with very young people, at the same time people of your age. So it brings the flexibility, which I think as you grow up in the management ladder, you sort of lose out on working with very young people on a daily basis, you know. So the project works were like real good fun. Yeah.
So many different backgrounds, even different academic background, different professional backgrounds. What is it that you look for in your students when you hire them?
Actually, we look for this diversity because we think this is really the richness of the program, like bringing different people coming from the legal, people coming from accounting, any kind of manufacturing units. And all together, when they are asked to work on collective assignments, they are starting to share their different experiences. And this is where the magic happens, right? Because they are sharing their current difficulties with technology, and we are helping them to find ways to see how technology could actually be a trigger for development. And because of this diversity, there is so much to happen, not only from the courses, but also from the course itself.
Yes.
And how have you selected the teacher of this program? Like people have like many work experience. It's a question I always ask when it comes to executive programs, because like you have your work experience behind you. Like no one can teach me anything. I know everything, and yet you have teachers in front of you.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we are looking for this subtle mix where we have teachers that know about what's going on in organizations, as well as experts in their field when it comes to research, academic research. So that's why, I mean, at ESSEC, we are trying to find the best of both worlds, where we have people that know how to talk to practitioners because they know what they are experiencing, as well as they are at the best when it comes to academic research. And for that, I mean, this is something that we are doing at the school level, where we are really trying to recruit the best in each discipline.
And Emez, what's a typical week with ESSEC Online's platform like?
That's a very good question. So a typical week would comprise of a course or a topic opening on the online platform. And this would be the self-paced learning part of the program. So the course is opening in a video format, but our participants, they also have the opportunity to listen to this content or even to read it if they prefer to do so. And then towards the end of the week, there's always a live session, which is basically an opportunity for them to have FaceTime, a live session with an ESSEC professor where they can raise their questions, they can discuss the current topic that they were looking at during the week. And then they are also, in certain cases, have to deliver some assignments that are linked to the course content.
As a student, what couldn't you imagine before applying? What couldn't you predict? What has surprised you the most, in other words?
What the most surprising thing for me was the interactions of professors that we had, that how easy it was for them to understand where we stand and how things could be difficult at times, because of course everyone has left university long ago and to get into that rigor of studying and meeting deadlines and times and having still questions. So that one thing was very like that surprised me, because I felt very, very at home when I was doing the course. And the second thing which I also felt was that irrespective of our, like one of my batchmates, he was in South Africa, another one was in Singapore, and then we had a lot of people coming from North Africa, and we were all in the part of the group finding the right timing to do the assignments together. That was something that was also very, very challenging. At the same time, it was good because we could all get into that time zone we wanted.
Speaking about time zone, is it the same timeline for everyone? Is it online with international students, or could the time difference be an issue at some point, Clemens? Or maybe you want to answer the question?
No, I mean, so far we succeeded to handle the whole cohort, the whole different set of participants with having only one time zone. So for example, we are having our live classes, live sessions at noon,
all right,
Paris time. And then we know that this is somehow compatible with Asia and the US. I mean, of course, at some point in time, we had people coming from Polynesia, and it was a bit tough for them to be connected, because that would mean midnight for them. But still, they were making it. And when you have someone making it at midnight, that makes the whole group very proud and very committed, actually, to engage with him or her in the collective assignment.
All right, we still have time to talk more about it, but first, the expert question. It could be for either of you, Julien or Hermès. You will pick who wants to answer first. Can online courses really be as effective as the face-to-face courses and give them the same legitimacy as to an employer?
I understand why it is a tough question, because many people would say that online courses, this is somehow less legitimate or less well recognized than traditional courses. Me, what I can say is that people like Vandana, when you are experimenting, when you have people that have been experimenting in class versus online courses, some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them are telling me that they prefer the online format because they think we go much deeper in terms of the way we engage ourselves into the different topics that we cover in class. And so for me, that's one of the best comments that you could get, because it means that really we succeed to really engage our participants in the curriculum. So for that, we need to have, again, this subtle mix of different formats. So as we were saying, live sessions, but also asynchronous content. It's not easy to find, but I think that we have found a recipe that seems to work. And again, for me, the best signal is the engagement of participants, and we have almost no drop-off. I mean, all the people that start the curriculum, they finish it.
Correct.
And is it the same legitimacy towards companies, for example? Can you say, I've done ESSEC Business School the same way I would have if it was a face-to-face courses?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
All right.
Yes, and this is the same degree, actually.
Yeah.
So whether either you could do it online or in class, this is exactly the same degree.
There's a saying, online training equals self-training. Did you feel like you were self-training, or did you feel ESSEC was really helping you with, I don't know, the exercise, the exams, everything, even if it was just an online program? The question I'm trying to really answer here is like, it's not because it's online that you will feel less as an ESSEC student. I guess it's the main question here. That's why, and since you've experienced it from the inside, I'm sure you're the more legitimate to answer that question.
I have actually a very good answer, because it's one of the most expensive universities in the world, in the US. I enrolled myself in their program as well, online program. I don't want to name it because I don't want to get sued. And what I realized that they had this program, like, you attend your class, and on that, the professor, everything was recorded and played. So there was no interaction. There is nothing like I'm asking a question or he's clarifying my question. On the contrary, they were like peer group of like some 900 people trying to help each other out on the questions and things. And I didn't find it really useful for me.
Okay.
I just felt that if I have to learn by asking someone, I can get onto my premium account of LinkedIn and I can do LinkedIn learning. I don't need to go to this most expensive place. And in fact, they sent me a mail and I wrote to them and I said, I think your course is not at all good and I'm dropping out because I can't waste my time just looking at a recorded video. And I said the same thing when I came to ESSEC and I started the classes, and the whole interaction, and wherever I'm like stuck or I'm not able to do, one of my colleagues, I will ask that, are you able to do, especially coding was one of my challenges. So I had people who helped me out, okay, go online and do this. And she was sharing my computer and she was telling me, okay, you need to do this and this is the file you need to download. So I think it became very virtual class, literally a virtual classroom where everyone is helping everyone. And I felt that it was like very different from the online course, which I had paid so much money, never got it back, but enrolled myself into.
So it would be like the metaverse ESSEC Online.
Yeah, it was almost like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. May I reflect on that?
Yes, obviously.
I just wanted to also mention that I work with a team of wonderful people who are basically the community managers for all our participants, and you probably recall that they are always on top of the deadlines.
True.
They are making sure that participants, they are informed about every detail that is coming their way regarding the program. And we also work with external experts who we call academic coaches, with whom they can discuss the academic content. They can also raise questions regarding group work, regarding the deliverables. So this is also something that we are quite proud about, and this is what makes us different from other programs.
And there is one more. They have a talent center.
Oh.
And this
Career Center, okay.
Talent Center.
Oh, Talent Center, sorry.
So Talent Center is actually, I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, but he's amazing. He gave us like, demos for half an hour, how to refine our searches on Google, how to find things what we want, and especially when we are doing our exercises, that where we can get all the relevant books or research paper or things like that. So this Talent Center and the team who works in it, they were amazingly helpful. And I was like almost all the time contacting them. and I was doing the workshops which they had to offer. And it was very good. I think I have been to university before when I did my studies, and I didn't find that big a difference. Yeah, physical presence is missing, but other than that, it works out perfectly because you have team of people you can approach to who are ready to help and show you how to use all these technical tools. Yeah.
Julien, you want to say something?
Yeah, very briefly, I just want to say that I think by teaching both in class and online, I think that we provide more support online because we know that people used to feel lonely in front of their screen, right? And we all have been experimenting MOOCs for a very long time, and we know that this is not what we want to produce or to offer. So because of this, and I was insisting on this notion of experience at the beginning, we have been providing a whole community of course participants, but also the community manager, the academic coaches that provide much more than the academic content.
Yeah. I was going to say more than an advanced master, it's also a therapy. Okay, why do I say that? Because you have a personal coach, I believe. You've had a one-to-one session with coach.
Yes.
How did it go for you? Is it like therapy or not?
I think it's just reaffirming where you stand, and it was quite an eye-opener. For me, it was, I'm very open to change and accept new things. So it was very good. I did, and then, of course, they do the evaluation and the...
They had to
ever
grade you at
since,
some point
yeah.
as well, yeah.
So
Just for fun.
Yeah, but then it is, I think that's the whole point. And as Julia rightly said, that when we are online, I think we got maximum attention than had it been a classroom, a physical classroom. Because in physical classroom, okay, I have that given my lectures, you listen, you didn't listen, that's your problem. And we have a deadline, you do the exam and everything, and hardly any student goes and asks any question to the professor. Whereas when you are online and when you are delivering, the interaction was much more, because since there are different people coming from different cultures are involved, I think that also helped. In classroom, you become one culture. Mm-hmm. Everyone adapts to the classroom atmosphere. When you are online, I mean, Indians, we always ask questions. Then we have Chinese who never ask questions. Then we have also other people who had to give reply to things or help the professor a bit more in the question because they have an answer and I don't. So it was very interesting. I mean, I think the experience was quite good, at least for me.
When should someone apply to an executive master? When should they know that it's time to apply, go back to school, learn again? Face a teacher, face exam, face coaches. When is it a good time?
For us, I mean, as Vandana was saying, I mean, participants would go from 25, 28 up to 50 plus. And I think that when you feel that you are being stuck at a threshold in your career, this is the right time again to engage yourself into some kind of studies. That can be about an MBA, that can be about a specific master on a certain discipline or certain concentration. But I really engage us collectively to think about when you feel that this feeling of being stuck at some point in your career, this is maybe the right time to open up your mind and engage yourself in any kind of curriculum.
So what kind of career transformation have your students experienced? If you have examples, or if you could be specific about, I don't know if you have example in mind. I will ask, obviously, what kind of career transformation you've had. But like more generally, what kind of career transformation have your students have? I don't know, when it comes to the salary, when it comes to the position, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's both, clearly. I mean, it can be a salary thing for many, and I think that's also something that we can sell as a business school, because I think we are bringing our participants all the elements to make a difference on the job market. So that's one thing. And then I think this particular degree is about training transformation leaders.
Yeah, upgrading your transformation skills. Yeah.
So you are becoming a transformation leader, meaning that you're going to lead your organization toward change. And that can be, of course, about digital technologies, but not only. That can be about developing a new business model thanks to AI technology. That can be about anything. But this is really about leading your organization toward change. And this is something which is almost invaluable, right, for many people and many organizations as well.
So how does it work for you?
See, I know 4 of my classmates who have switched jobs on a much bigger and a better position. So I'm sure the financial remunerations are equally good and they have really moved up in the ladder. And for me, I mean, the whole point of getting into this was to understand the digital transformation, and literally, and especially when we talk about change management. So we had Christoph, he was an amazing professor for us. Julia, he gave us all the AI.
The best professor?
Yeah, the best. No, I mean, just because he's not.
You're not doing that because he's here.
No, he's not here. I would
best,
say,
obviously.
I mean, I'm really good with, I love talent, and I really enjoy when people know what they are talking about. And I think that's the first criteria of any professor. So he was able to hold all of us, our attention. So that says it all.
That's a good sign.
Yes. Personally, I got into the course because I had launched a e-commerce business, and I worked with a lot of IT people to make it happen. And there were a lot of gray areas which I was not very clear myself. So, and when I tanked the business, I just thought that it's the right time that I should upgrade my skills, and not only digital skills, but to know how the whole management moves when you want to bring in a change. And I have been always an entrepreneur and a leader in wherever I have worked. So this course was like tailor-made for me to get my level upscaled actually to move into my next ventures, which I'm now currently working. So I'm sure it's going to give me equally good ROI.
All right, thank you very much. We still have time before conclusion. It's time for the last word. So the last word is adding one last thing. Maybe something we haven't said already and you want to make sure we do, or maybe you want to emphasize on something. Julien, what would be your last words?
Yes, so I could say that based on the success that we have all been discussing from different perspectives, we have decided at ESSEC Business School to expand our portfolio of online programs. So I could say that we are currently working on the making of 2 different degrees. One is a hybrid MBA, meaning that, we all know what is an MBA, but here the idea is to have 4 residencies on which the participants will be on site with us, knowing each other, getting into the networking aspects, and 70% of the curriculum will be delivered online, following the same architecture, where we try to engage them as much as possible into hands-on practicing. So that's really something that we're going to be doing with this MBA, because we know that this is what is expected from those kind of participants. And the second degree that we are also developing now is about sustainable strategies. So following again the same architecture, where we're going to be training leaders, but that will be driving sustainable strategies in the organizations.
So digital transformation and environmental transformation.
Absolutely.
Now. All right,
Absolutely.
makes sense. Vandana, what would be your conclusion?
My conclusion, I have really a great respect for this course, EMDT, basically because executives like us, they just don't need the digital experience. They also need to understand how the whole world is changing and how their action or reaction can build and encourage the whole team to move forward. So I would say anyone who's in my kind of shoes should actually do the EMDT, because it's a perfect balance between doing online as at the same time practicing it in your day-to-day work. And yes, that's basically what really defines you at the end of the day, that what a good leader you are and how much you can actually be of use to anyone and everyone in your entire structure.
And judging from your testimony, it even sounds fun to do so.
Yes, I loved it.
It seems so.
Yeah.
What would be your conclusion?
And maybe from me, just to follow up on Vandana's thoughts, so I would like to encourage everybody who is feeling that they are at the time in their life when they need change and when they would like to become digital transformation leaders or leaders in strategies for sustainability. I would like to encourage them to apply and immerse in our online experience.
Thank you very much. Thanks to the 3 of you to answer all my questions. Like we said, the Executive Master in Digital Transformation is only the first step, the first stone. And if you want to experience the ESSEC Online classes, well, ESSEC Business School, EMDT Online, and many others to follow, thank you for watching and I hope to see you soon.